of ICE and immigration attorney Alan Orr. Alan, is it a legitimate question or subject for us to discuss if somebody's here legally or illegally?
I think it is if we're dealing with a matter of immigration, if we're in immigration court or an immigration proceeding. But I think what the family has said in this situation, and also what the law sort of bears out in the way this case is being handled, that the fact that this person is undocumented is not an essential part of this actual criminal activity. So therefore,
But Alan, don't you believe if he was unable to get here, if he had come legally and lawfully, he may not have ever come here. The fact that he was here and is illegal, Molly would be alive if he weren't in this country. Do you believe that or not believe that?
First of all, this is an absolute tragedy, and I offer my condolences to the family.
Yeah.
And the possibility of changing what actually happened, no one can do those circumstances, so I'm not going to play that game, what if.
It's not a game. It's not a game. When people are here illegally and they commit a crime, I really do believe that that crime wouldn't have been committed because they wouldn't have been here. Is that logical?
I'm a philosophy major. No, it's not a logical answer.
It's not a philosophy. It's logic.
It's not a logical answer. No, there are endless possibilities of things that could have happened. So no, that is not a logical answer to say that if this person wasn't here,
and he would have been in Mexico, right?
We're saying in this specific occurrence.
Yes, in this specific case where a young woman going to college, about to enter her junior year, is murdered. You're telling me that's not relevant?
I'm uncertain if you're asking me if the immigration status is relevant. It is not relevant.
Yes, it is because he wouldn't have been in this country.
What is relevant is the individual and those individual actions which have been discussed clearly in the criminal case.
His actions of coming here illegally ultimately led to her being killed by this person. That's the allegation. We'll see if it's true, but that's the allegation. Tom,
well, that's a fallacy of causation. That's a fallacy of causation because he was here for 4 years with no problem. He worked at a farm.
We don't know that yet. We don't know that yet. Hold on. I want to bring in Tom. Tom spent a lifetime in law enforcement protecting us and getting rid of some of the most nefarious criminals that are out there. Tom, what's your take on this?
I think my friend Alan's way wrong on this, and you're right. Look, fact, he was in the country illegally. Fact, if he wasn't here, this girl would be alive today. That's just a fact of the case. It's not a philosophy. It's a fact. This girl is dead today because he killed her and he was here illegally. If he wouldn't have been here, if we had a border wall, if we had real border enforcement, maybe he wouldn't have been here. So it's stone cold fact.
Let me play a little clip here of a candidate for the United States Senate, the person who's running against Ted Cruz. Oh, sorry, it's not. Okay, we don't have this clip. But you have a lot of people that are saying, hey, we should decriminalize this. You know, essentially open borders. We want to abolish ICE. Alan, where do you stand on those two issues?
Right. So first, the abolish ICE movement as well as the decriminalization of immigration are totally separate issues. And I want to be very clear.
Yeah, they're separate, but go ahead.
Very clear earlier saying that his immigration status had nothing to do with the crime and what happened in that occurrence. So what is not important or what is super important in the story.
Alan, I'm not going to let you get away with that. I'm going to keep arguing. Because if he didn't come here illegally, then he wouldn't have committed this crime. And you think that's a philosophy? I think that's just the fact.
No, I'm saying it's a fallacy of causation. You're sort of saying because he was illegal, he committed the crime, which is not the case.
If somebody, Alan, if somebody breaks into your home and then murders you, what do you think would happen if he didn't break into your home?
Right. So these kind of arguments, these equivocations, these straw man arguments aren't useful to the conversation.
It's not a straw man. We have a dead woman.
And it is a tragedy for the family, and they've asked that her death not be political issues based on this because they
It's the number one issue facing voters according to poll. Tom, jump in here.
An individual's actions does not represent the whole community of immigrants in this country. So therefore,
I didn't say
really
that. But look, I'm not going to let you get away with that either. There's a difference between immigrants and illegal immigrants. Tom, explain the difference.
Look. Immigrants are people here illegally. Illegal alien, which is the term in the law books, illegal aliens are here illegally. Look, bottom line is the comment Alan just made that his family didn't want this politicized. Look, illegal immigration has been a political issue for decades. It's emotional. But look, fact, about 2 hours ago, I got a text, actually email from Don Rosenberg, an angel dad from California, who talked about this case and talked about LA editorial where they talked about politicizing these deaths. Don Rosenberg reminded me, he goes, Tom, every one of us, as Angel families, we want the president to speak about this. We've been speaking about this for a long time, but we never had a voice until President Trump got to be president. He created the Voice Office, Victims of Immigration Crime at ICE. So here's an angel dad reached out to me today, which is a coincidence. We're having this interview tonight, saying we want a voice. We want the American people to understand the tragedy. We have children that have been killed by illegal aliens. We need to talk about it.
So, Alan,
when we talk about it, we should talk about the fact that people. Yeah, okay.
Alan, I got to show you some video.
Okay.
There are those of us that believe in the wall and believe you should lock down the border. And down on the southern border, there's this video, which hopefully will come up on the screen as we're speaking, of what was going on at a KFC. There was a tunnel that was going into this KFC, which was providing this conduit. This is the KFC. This kind of reminds me of Breaking Bad and how they were moving drugs through. This is the tunnel that's moving